two iconic black and white films, Kodak Tri-X 400 and T-Max 400. Both are legends, but for different reasons. And today I'm putting them head to head in a controlled studio shoot using my Mamiya RZ67 Pro 2 and strobe lighting. If you're wondering how these two classics behave under ideal lighting and medium format detail, then this is the video for you. Enjoy. Let's take a moment and break down the history and personality of these two legends. First up is Kodak Tri-X 400. This film goes back to 1954 and is arguably the most iconic black and white film of the 20th century. It was the film of choice for photojournalists, street photographers, war correspondents, and even musicians. Think jazz scenes, civil rights marches, and gritty New York streets. Originally rated at 200 ISO in daylight, the modern ISO 400 version evolved over time as Kodak improved its emulsion. Tri-X is famous for its bold contrast, rich blacks, and noticeable grain, thanks to its traditional cubic grain structure. It's forgiving in development, great for pushing up to 800, 16, or even 3200 ISO, and it has a great look that feels cinematic, emotional, and raw. Now let's talk about T-Max 400, Kodak's modern take on black and white. Released in 1986, T-Max was built on new T-grain technology, which uses flat, tabular-shaped silver crystals instead of traditional cubic ones. That change was huge. T-Max offers ultra-fine grain, high resolution, and smoother tonal range. It was designed for photographers who needed detail and clean scans. Think fashion, fine arts, and editorial work. Where Tri-X feels gritty and analog, T-Max feels smooth, precise, and almost digital-like in how clean the results are, especially in medium format. T-Max 400 is surprisingly pushable, holding up beautifully at 1600 ISO and even 3200, with excellent shadow retention and sharpness. It excels in controlled environments like the studio, where dynamic range and tonality really shine. That's exactly why I wanted to compare them under strobes, to see how each renders skin, contrast, and texture when you eliminate natural light variables. So you've got one film that's a gritty storyteller and another that's a technical powerhouse. But how do they actually look? Side by side, on medium format, and in a studio portrait session? That's what we're going to dive into next. So where do I think each of these films shine the most? If I'm doing an emotional portrait session or a personal project with raw nostalgic vibe, Tri-X is the one. It just has soul. I love everything about this film stock. I think it's my favorite black and white film stock now since I've been shooting it a lot more. It just has that raw, gritty feel, the grain aspect. Everything about it just feels real and screams analog, and I love it so much. But if I'm working with a client or in a commercial setting where detail, sharpness, and tonal accuracy are a must, I'd probably lean towards T-Max 400, especially, more of my style specifically, guys, is I like that grainy aspect to my portraits. But if I'm doing a little bit something on the more professional side, like headshots, then I'll probably use T-Max 400 if I'm shooting with film. I've seen a lot of things online where people lean less towards T-Max 400 just because of the clean look and it feels more digital than analog, but to each their own. I think it still has a place in the film world. It just depends on what you're using it for. But it's not a bad film at all. At the end of the day, the choice isn't about which one looks better. It's more about the story that you're trying to tell. So there you have it. Tri-X 400 versus T-Max 400. Both legends for a reason, but built for different visual intentions. Whether you want grit and grain or sharpness and smoothness, both can absolutely shine in the right hands, especially on a medium format beast like the RZ67. But I'm curious, which film do you vibe with more? Drop it in the comments below and let's talk about it. And if you've got a favorite developer or scanner trick for either one, definitely share that too. If you found this video to be helpful at all, hit that like button, make sure you subscribe if you haven't yet, and ring that bell. I got a lot more film comparisons on the way. Next up, I'm thinking maybe Tri-X 400 versus Ilford P5. Thank you so much for watching, happy shooting, and I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.